So, the Libre 2. I have heard so many mixed reviews about the Freestyle Libre 2 online, and so I thought I would provide you with my video and on my opinions on the Libre 2. They have been around in the UK and other countries for a while now, but it took me a long time to get mine prescribed. So yeah, now I have had it prescribed, I've tried 3 of them, and I thought it was time to kind of give you my opinion, talk about some of the mixed reviews that I've seen online, and also kind of compare it slightly to the Dexcom and the Miao Miao, which I have used before. So if you don't know, the Freestyle Libre 2 is like the Freestyle Libre 1, which is a flash glucose monitoring device where you have a separate handheld device, or you can use your phone to scan the sensor which is attached to your arm. You put a new one on every 14 days and this tells you your glucose readings. But unlike the Libre 1, the Libre 2 gives you alarms when you go high or when you go low. It is still flash glucose monitoring because it will give you those alarms, but you can't see your blood sugar constantly. You still have to swipe the sensor and able to see the actual glucose reading. So yeah, it is still flash, unlike the Dexcom, which is a CGM or a constant glucose monitor, which sends the data constantly to your phone and you can get real-time readings. I tried that, loved it, but I can't afford it and I can't get it funded. And the Miao Miao is a separate device which you can put on top of your Freestyle Libre, and it turns it into a constant glucose monitor. So the Miao Miao will pick up data from the Libre and again send it to your phone to get those real-time blood glucose readings. So yeah, the Libre 2 isn't a CGM, it is flash. But if you do want to hear more about the Dexcom, the Libre 1 or the Miao Miao, I have videos about all of those on my channel with full reviews and everything. So I'm gonna first address, like I said, the kind of negative reviews that I saw online and also compared to those other 2 devices. So the main kind of criticisms I saw before I got the Libre with the 2, which I was a bit nervous about, were people saying that it falls off really easily and people saying that it's really inaccurate. I personally, through my 3 sensors, haven't had a problem with either of these things. None of them have fallen off early, they all seem to be stuck on pretty well. If they do fall off, you can call Abbott and they will give you a replacement. Obviously that's not ideal because you still want to be like having the Libre attached so that you can keep getting your blood glucose readings. In terms of accuracy, I personally haven't had any problems. Mine tends to be pretty close to my finger prick, and like I said, I was quite nervous about moving to the Libre 2 because the Libre 1 plus the Miao Miao did work fine for me, but I wanted to try the 2 and I was nervous about it being inaccurate because you obviously don't want to be treating or correcting inaccurate glucose readings. But yeah, I haven't had any problems with accuracy. It tends to be pretty close to my finger stick. So yeah, for me, those 2 things have not been an issue. So in terms of how it works, it is essentially the same as the Libre 1, but the reason for switching to the 2 is for the alarms. So you can set the threshold at which you want your Libre to alert you that you have gone high or low, and these don't have to be the same as your target range. So for example, my target range is between 4 and 8.5, but I don't get high alarms until I hit 9, because if I'm, for example, asleep and I'm only at like 8.6, I don't really want to be woken up to have to correct that if it's not necessary. So I set my alarms slightly higher than my threshold. You can also select an option to ignore Do Not Disturb, so it will carry on sending you alarms whether you have your phone on loud or not. I personally haven't set this up because if I'm, for example, in a meeting and I don't want my alarms to go off, or if I'm sleeping and I've had a really rough night and I just don't want to have any more alarms, then I will put my Do Not Disturb on and I won't get those alarms. It does mean that obviously if you have your alarms on, your phone will be on loud. So what I have done is I've just turned off all sound notifications from my phone other than phone calls, because I want to hear like a phone call in case it's an emergency or whatever. But if people are texting me or WhatsApping me, like, it's not an emergency. I don't need to have like sound notifications. So I've turned all of those off so that when my phone is on loud, it's literally just my Libre alarms and phone calls, which means that yeah, when I go to bed, I'm not constantly like being woken up by WhatsApps, but I can still get alarms. So it kind of depends what works for you. You may obviously prefer to have all of your phone like notifications going off and then just put on the setting where Libre alarms will ignore do not disturb. So then obviously like when you go to bed, you can put your phone on silent, but then it means that there is no option to stop those alarms if you need a break from them. What I also did for the Miao Miao, so like I said, I used to use the Freestyle Libre 1 with the Miao Miao. So the Freestyle Libre 1 does not give you alarms, and then you put the Miao Miao as a separate device on top, and it turns it into a CGM with data going constantly to your phone. So you can simply swipe across your phone screen, and it will have your glucose data there. Whereas with the Libre 2, like I said, it will alarm you when you go high or low, but you still have to scan the device to see what the actual reading is. Some people don't like this because they want to have it, for example, like on their Apple Watch, or have it really easy to see. Personally, it doesn't really bother me. The reason I have the alarms is to alert me to the situation of being below or above range, and it doesn't take a lot of extra effort to just scan the Libre and then act accordingly. I never had anything on my Apple Watch because I don't have an Apple Watch, and yeah, for me it doesn't bother me. And it's also sometimes quite nice to be able to have a break from constant data. Like I would find myself sometimes just mindlessly checking my blood sugar all the time, and I used to become quite obsessed over the data from the Miao Miao, or the Dexcom one I trialled that does the exact same thing. But yeah, it can be easy to fall into a habit of getting very overly obsessed with those numbers if you're constantly getting that data and constantly getting those alarms. The downside of it, obviously not showing your blood sugar straight away and not being a CGM, is that you can't share your data with friends or family real time. So with both the Miao Miao and the Dexcom, you can have friends, family, whoever, carers, be connected to your app, and they will get real-time data of what your blood glucose is. This is obviously super helpful for parents who have children that are diabetic and they want to keep an eye on your blood sugar. You can still share your Libre data with others, but it won't be real time. They will just see what your blood glucose is once you have scanned. But for example, if your kid's at school and you want to have notifications of their blood glucose, etc., without them having to physically check, then you will need to get a CGM. It's also quite annoying for me personally that once you get that notification saying you're high or low and you have scanned to see your blood glucose, it then will not alarm you for that same high or low blood sugar for the whole time. Like once you have scanned to check your blood sugar, it will not alarm you. So for example, if you scan and you're still high 2 hours later, you will not get an alarm to let you know you're still high. It won't alarm you until you've gone back in range and then come out of range, so it would be like a new event that it's alerting you for. So like I said, that's quite annoying. Like overnight, if I've gone to bed high, or if I'm high just before I've gone to bed and I do a like very precautionary bolus, then it means that if that bolus doesn't cover all of the correction that I needed, I then won't get an alarm throughout the night, and I could wake up and have been high the whole time. Whereas the Miao Miao and the Dexcom, because they're sending like constant data, they will alarm you every 5 minutes that you're out of range. And then to stop those alarms, because obviously you're not going to become back in range within 5 minutes, you then, on the Miao Miao, you can choose to snooze it for 15, 30, 60 minutes or 2 hours. You can snooze those alarms, and then as soon as those alarms are unsnoozed, they will start alarming you again every 5 minutes until you snooze them again or you become back in range. So I really like that for like overnight if I want to be notified if I'm still not in range. And the Dexcom is a similar thing. You can choose how often, once you have got rid of that notification saying that you are high or low, you can then choose the time interval that you want the Dexcom to wait before it then alarms you again if you're still out of range. So that is my main kind of pet peeve with the Libre 2, is that once you've got that notification, you will not get alarmed again. So like I explained in my last vlog, I'm having a few issues like transitioning to pump, finding out my new like bedtime routine and breakfast routine, and I am having like hypos after dinner and then spiking up and having to go to bed with a correction on board and still not in range. So luckily for me, I live with James, and we don't go to bed at the same time because I'm a really early sleeper and he cannot sleep until like at least after 11. So I go to bed first, and then he will just scan my Libre when he comes to bed if I ask him to check whether I've gone back in range or whether I'm trending down yet, or if not, he can then wake me up and I can then act accordingly. And it does mean that if I'm still really high at that point, I will then have to set another alarm on my phone, for example, for like 2 hours time in the middle of the night and wake up and check my blood sugar, which is then annoying. If I have gone back in range, I've woken up and disturbed my sleep for no reason. Obviously then if I haven't gone in range, then it's a good thing that I've got the alarm, but it means like, yeah, having to set your own alarms and waking yourself up for no reason, because those alarms are only like a one-time thing until the next high or low event. One good thing about the alarms though is that they are very, very loud. I found that with the Miao Miao, for some reason when I bought the Miao Miao first, the alarms started really loud, but now, I don't know what's happened, but the alarms have gone really quiet. Even when I put my phone on full volume, it literally sometimes takes 4 hours of my Miao Miao beeping every 5 minutes to wake me up if I'm asleep. Like, they're really quiet, and so it's kind of almost pointless even having them because they don't wake me up. Like, obviously during the daytime I will hear them, but they won't wake me up, whereas the Libre alarms, you cannot ignore that thing. Like, they are loud, so that I am very grateful for. And the other thing that I like obviously about not having the Miao Miao attached is that it is only one device attached to my skin, especially now that I have a pump which is a patch pump and is attached to my skin all the time. Having then the Libre plus the Miao Miao on top, which was come to like here, obviously it's just a lot of skin constantly being covered and irritated, and it makes it even more visible, which doesn't bother me, but it might bother some people. So being able to have just the one Libre device and not having that external Miao Miao, which also you have to charge, so it's annoying when it runs out of charge, or you have a period of time when it's not attached to you. Mine also started running out of charge while my Libre was still running, so I used to charge it between putting on new Libres every 2 weeks, but it started to run out of charge before those 2 weeks would be up. So I used to have to sit for like half an hour really still, because obviously you can't take off the Libre, and I can't really get the Miao Miao off without the Libre coming off too. So I'd sit really still with my arm like plugged into the wall while I'd be charging my Miao Miao. So those were a few frustrations with the system of the Libre plus the Miao Miao. I do really like the Dexcom, but it is unaffordable for a lot of people, including myself. And it is also bigger than the Libre. I believe the newest Dexcom, which isn't yet, I don't think, released to the general population, is even smaller than the Libre, and in which case the only problem with the Dexcom would be the price. But I do overall prefer the Libre 2 by itself to the Libre 1 plus the Miao Miao, or any of those other devices like the Bluecon or the Bubble. They do similar things to the Miao Miao, because I do like having it just in one device. And although it is annoying not having those repeat alarms, there are workarounds to it, and I like just, yeah, having just the one device. Those are my thoughts on the Libre 2. I really like it. I'm excited to try the Libre 3 when it comes out, although diabetes tech seems to come to the UK very, very slowly, so I'll probably get it in about 2036. But yeah, I've heard, again, mixed reviews about the Libre 3, so I'll see what my experience is with that when I get it. But yeah, I hope this video has been helpful for you if you are considering the Libre 2, wanting to know more about how the alarms actually function, and my opinion on those kind of mixed reviews. So yeah, I hope you all have a great day. Let me know in the comments if you have any other advice, tips or opinions on the Libre 2, and until then, I'll see you next time. Bye!